In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college basketball games happening on November 16th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Sunday afternoon brings a college basketball meeting between two programs better known for football as Notre Dame faces Ohio State. Both enter with 3-0 records, and neither has stepped outside its own arena. Notre Dame now travels for the first time, and this group looks stronger than it did last season. Ohio State finished as the first team out of the tournament last season, and the roster changes they made aim to push them over that line. A result here shapes future metrics. Notre Dame leans on its guards. Marcus Burton returns after a season with more than 21 points per game as a sophomore. The front court offers less punch, and the offense depends on the three-point shot. Yet that spacing gives the Irish a real threat when shots fall. Ohio State plays with a slower rhythm and uses a veteran rotation with strong continuity. Their transfers bring more experience rather than raw talent. Both teams prefer a controlled pace. Through their first 3 games, the Irish have shown a steady blend of perimeter scoring and inside support. Burton gives them a steady source of points, and Braden Shrewsbury stretches the floor. Carson Tout gives them a chance to limit second chances, and Jalen Harrelson offers value on both ends. Ohio State brings more raw talent, yet Notre Dame's spacing and shooting give them ways to create clean looks. Getting more than 2 possessions on the line offers room to stay close even during periods where Ohio State controls the action. Ohio State has handled mid-major teams with ease, but this marks their first meeting with a high-major opponent. Notre Dame has the firepower to test lapses. Ohio State relies on Bruce Thornton to control the game, and Notre Dame can try to force the ball out of his hands. The Irish average close to 80 points each time out, and clean ball handling helps them stay within reach. Ohio State has met expectations through 3 games and looks ready for a strong season. Notre Dame has done its job as well and covered in 2 of its first 3 matchups. Burton and Shrewsbury have opened strong. Notre Dame may not have the depth to leave with a win, yet the number suggests Ohio State receives more respect than the matchup demands. Notre Dame can shoot, and Burton, Shrewsbury, and Tout give the group enough tools to remain in contact until the final stages. As our first pick for this matchup, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have leaned on defense and a measured pace so far. Notre Dame has scored around 78 points per game, yet those outings came against mid-major competition, and a Big Ten roster reduces the space they enjoyed. Ohio State has been efficient on offense, and they have held 2 of their first 3 opponents under 60 points, which shows a clear focus on cutting possessions and forcing tough looks. With each side facing its first high-major test, the pace tightens and defensive focus rises. A total in the 150s sits higher than the way these teams want to play. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston versus Auburn. The Houston Cougars and Auburn Tigers meet Sunday at Legacy Arena in a matchup that brings 2 early season extremes into the same building. Houston has shown firm control on both ends of the court. The defense has held opponents to 50 points per game through the first 3 contests and has turned each outing into a low percentage grind for opposing shooters. The group forces turnovers and crowds passing lanes. On offense, Emmanuel Sharp has hit from deep with confidence, and Kingston Flemings has given the attack balance as a scorer, and creator Chris Sanak Jr. and Joseph Tugler have worked the glass and guarded the rim, giving Houston a physical core that can disrupt Auburn's inside work. The setup points to a test of Auburn's rhythm, but any firm conclusion waits until the end. Auburn enters with a scoring profile built on pace and volume. The Tigers have topped 94 points per game, but that output has come against mid-major teams. Houston's defense offers a different kind of pressure. Keyshawn Hall and Elijah Freeman will need to keep their form, while Bruce Thornton aims to challenge Houston's guards. Auburn beat Houston last season, yet this Houston roster looks sharper and deeper, and the freshmen have helped early. The game's location in Birmingham gives Auburn some comfort, although Houston's control of tempo and its slow, half-court style shape how the contest might unfold. The final read on the matchup comes only after both sides are weighed. The recent history favors Auburn, but Houston brings continuity that sets the tone for its preparation. Houston ranks 36th in returning minutes at 44.1%, while Auburn sits at 264th at 11.7%. Auburn has not faced a defense with Houston's pressure or discipline in its first 3 games. The Tigers have 6 players in double figures, yet they now face a defense built on strength and positioning. Houston has shown it can handle difficult venues. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Cougars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Houston's recent trend points to low totals, with a 9-1-1 mark to the under in its last 11 games that reach back to last season. Including all 3 this year, the Cougars sit first in defensive efficiency, 8th in effective field goal percentage defense at 39.1%. and 27th in forced turnover rate at 23.6%. They play at a slow adjusted tempo of 66.9 possessions per game. Auburn has gone over in all 3 games this season. The Tigers rank 46th in defensive efficiency, 105th in effective field goal percentage defense at 47.1%. 27th in block rate at 16.7%, and 61st in steal rate at 12.4%. Their tempo sits at 189th with 70.9 possessions per game. Houston's defense has held opponents to 50 points per game through the first 3 contests, and Auburn's high-scoring start came against lighter competition. Houston's physical play and slow pace have a way of pulling games into half-court sets. Auburn steps into its toughest defensive test so far, and the flow points to a setting where each possession matters and the scoring space shrinks. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. UNLV versus Memphis. Memphis hosts UNLV on Sunday at the FedEx Forum. The home team enters after a tough road setback against Ole Miss. They trailed early, fought back late, and showed steady control in the second half. Before that, they opened their season with a win against San Francisco. Their field goal rate sits at about 43%, which leaves room to grow but gives them a clear baseline. UNLV arrives with strong shooting but shaky results. They sit at 1-2 so far and have posted 93 and 101 points in their last 2 games. Their offense looks sharp at 51% from the field. Their defense has slipped. They have given up 102, 69, and 86 points, which strains any scoring edge they build against a roster built on athletic pressure. This gives them little margin for error. UNLV shows more talent than it has in recent years. The trouble is that recent losses against Montana and Tennessee Martin, both as large favorites, show real issues with consistency. Allowing 102 points to Montana and losing outright at home sets the tone for a rough start. Memphis, by contrast, handled itself well against Ole Miss and carried momentum from the end of last season into this year. Their defense allows fewer points per 100 possessions than UNLV, and their perimeter shooting sits at 35.4%. That matches well against a UNLV perimeter defense ranked near the bottom of the country. UNLV's early form suggests problems that go beyond a small sample. Their defense concedes 108 points per 100 possessions, far more than Memphis. Memphis owns a steadier profile built on better spacing, better pace, and a cleaner shot mix. As our first pick for this matchup, the Memphis Grizzlies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. UNLV leans on offense to survive tight games. Their 51.1% field goal mark and back-to-back outputs of 101 and 93 points show how they try to shape each matchup. Memphis defends the arc poorly so far, allowing opponents to hit at 41.9% from deep, which places them near the bottom nationally. That opens the door for long runs of scoring from both sides. Memphis plays at a quick pace and brings proven scoring across its lineup. They put up 77 points on the road against an Southeastern Conference opponent in their last outing. UNLV just allowed 102 points in its most recent contest. The trend line points toward high possessions and frequent scoring. The total analysis moves step by step toward an expected environment built for points as our second pick for this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Akron versus Purdue. The Akron Zips, listed at 3-0, meet the Purdue Boilermakers, also at 3-0, in a Midwest non-conference matchup. Both teams enter with clean records, and the setup points to a measured game. Akron has reached the NCAA tournament in 3 of the past 4 seasons, and its core group has stayed with the program through each year. The Zips opened their schedule with 3 wins, including firm results against Princeton and James Madison. Their top 3 players have remained with the team for their full careers, which gives Akron stability and cohesion. Purdue prefers a slow pace and sits near the bottom of the national tempo rankings. Purdue also held only a 10-point margin over Oakland. The Zips hold a stronger early point differential, and their profile includes a top-tier offense, a sound defense, and elite rebounding. And as our first pick for this matchup, the Akron Zips to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Purdue keeps possessions controlled and avoids pushing the pace. Akron understands its limits in a fast game and aims to stay within reach by slowing the action. Purdue recently faced Alabama, and that score climbed due to both teams having efficient attacks. This pairing has a different rhythm. Purdue wants a pace that matches its slow ranking, and Akron benefits from a patient plan that reduces empty trips and keeps the flow steady. Both sides enter with the intent to limit tempo. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami versus Florida. The matchup on Sunday night brings 2 major programs together on a neutral court as Miami meets 10th-ranked Florida in the Jacksonville Hoops Classic. Florida seeks a 3rd straight win after an opening loss to Arizona. The Gators edged Florida State in their last outing and shoot 44% from the field. While their defense gave up 93 points to Arizona, Miami sits at 3-0 and has reached the century mark in its last 2 games. Although the level of competition has been low, Miami has looked sharper on defense and shoots 57% from the floor. The team plays its 4th straight home game to open the season. Florida enters with 2 straight wins after dropping its first game, and this will be its first test away from home. Miami has produced stronger results on both ends with a plus 32.6 scoring margin and sits 9th in assists per game, which sets up a competitive matchup as our first pick for this matchup. The Miami Hurricanes to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have shown consistent offense. Miami has gone over the total in all 3 games. The Hurricanes rank 61st in offensive efficiency, 14th in effective field goal rate at 62.4%, 73rd in turnover rate at 14.7%, 6th in field goal rate overall, and 14th in 2-point shooting at 66.1%. Their adjusted tempo sits at 72.8 possessions per game, which places them 84th. Florida ranks 17th in offensive efficiency, 7th in offensive rebound rate at 46.1%, 65th in 2-point shooting at 60.8%, and pulls in 21 offensive rebounds per game, which ranks 2nd. Florida plays at a fast pace with an adjusted tempo of 75.4 possessions. Miami has pushed the ball and produced close to 100 points per game with strong interior play and steady passing. Florida has hovered near 90 points with size that creates second-chance looks. Both teams show comfort in an up-tempo style and carry enough depth to maintain it. Their strengths point toward a game with steady pace and frequent scoring chances. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.